Hi guys! Vision boards can be a great practical tool to help you identify your wishes, dreams, and goals. They can also help you focus on those wishes, dreams, and goals so that you can progress towards them and achieve them. Just in case you aren't familiar with vision boards consist of carefully selected images and text that represent you and what you want in your life. These are things that make you feel good and inspired and motivated, things that you want to work towards. So traditionally, you create a vision board filled with inspirational texts and images that are meaningful to you, and then you put it somewhere that you can look at it on a regular basis. There is a very practical side to vision boards, and today I'll tell you about 3 practical psychological reasons of why vision boards work to help bring our goals and wishes and dreams to life. I've had a few vision boards in my life because I was interested in the concept and I wanted to try it. I've had 3 images or pictures on previous boards that have come to life in a slightly uncanny way, which I'll tell you about later. Then I'll tell you about a few different types of boards that you can make, and then also give you some tips if you decide to make one yourself. So getting right into it, there are 3 practical psychological reasons why vision boards work. The first is the power of suggestion. The power of suggestion is very powerful and can influence our beliefs and our thoughts and our behavior. Every time that you look at your images, there's that power of suggestion, and you're sending a message to your subconscious. If you look at it often enough and consistently and mindfully, say 1 to 3 times a day, your mind will start to figure out how to achieve the goals that you're looking at. It's basically looking at a visualization of your goals and having your goals right in front of you. Even if it takes many, many steps to arrive at that goal, if you're focused on the outcome, your subconscious and conscious mind will find a way to help bring you there. If you keep reinforcing in your mind that this is what you want, you'll likely end up taking actions in your daily life that bring you closer to that goal. The second is the self-fulfilling prophecy. And the first time I ever heard of the term self-fulfilling prophecy is while I was in university and taking a class called interpersonal communications, and I found it so interesting. The self-fulfilling prophecy is a psychological term and basically means that you believe something, so then you take certain actions because of those beliefs, and then you end up creating the situation that you believed in based on a combination of your actions and your beliefs. In my class, the professors gave us this example. Say a wife believes that her husband is cheating on her, but he's not. Because she believes this, she keeps on nagging him and accusing him over and over for years, until finally he thinks, well, I'm being accused so often, and she believes that I am cheating on her, so I might as well. And then he cheats on her. It's a sad example, I know, but it always stuck in my mind because if you think about it, it actually makes a lot of sense. That our thoughts and our beliefs shape our actions and therefore can alter our reality and circumstances. Because when we act a certain way, there's always a response to our actions, so it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So when you look at your vision board with consistency, you start to believe in what's on there, that you will have it or it could be yours when the time is right. Then if you start to believe it through a combination of your beliefs and your actions, you'll end up creating a self-fulfilling prophecy. For instance, if you look at your board and think, that's for me, your actions will begin to support that. So goals become much more attainable if they are there and in front of you. And the third is visualization. Visualization is a powerful technique. Olympic athletes are known to practice visualization. Imagine it as if it's already yours, or that you are successfully completing something. Doctors, pro surfers, public speakers also do this. It tricks your brain into performing better and increases your chance of success. And what you focus on grows. So when you look at your vision board every day, you're focusing on those things that you've put on there. And there's so many things that we can focus on throughout the day. There's so many potential distractions. But when we have our goals in front of us, we can bring our attention and our focus back to what is meaningful to us and let those things grow. So those are 3 practical psychological reasons of why vision boards work. So out of my previous vision boards, I've had 3 images come to fruition, and I'll tell you about those. So the first is when I lived in my previous apartment, I was looking to move, and I was looking in my neighborhood for a new place, and I came across this studio with 2 big windows, and they had an ocean view. It was gorgeous and it was perfect. And I don't know if I still have the picture, but if I do, I'll overlay it onto this video right now. Anyways, what I wanted was something simple and small with a full kitchen and an ocean view and an ocean breeze. And I wanted to live minimally and focus on my business and also to write and also be walking distance to one of my favorite surf breaks. So this apartment that I had seen was $2,500 a month, and it was taken by the time that I had seen it. But for some reason, that apartment really resonated with me, so I put it on my vision board. Then a few months later, I found this apartment, which was $1,800 at the time, and it happens to be a very similar studio apartment with 2 big windows overlooking the ocean in the same neighborhood. And I really doubt that there's very many of these units that are studios with 2 big windows overlooking the ocean in this area. And I kind of know because I spent so much time looking. And so when I found this, it was just an utter surprise, but I attribute it to the vision board. There were a bunch of other places that I could have moved into, but because that goal was right in front of me, I was like, I'll hold out until I get something that's on par with what I initially wanted. So the second thing is that I came across this really beautiful picture of a sunset unlike any that I had ever seen. It was a sunset over the ocean, and the water was glassy. The sky was like this buttery golden yellow, yet the water had this neon orange color to it, and the surfers in the water were just silhouettes. And the waves were curling perfectly, and it was just such a pretty picture. I put it on my vision board, and I was thinking I would love to experience like such beauty like this. So I love surfing during the sunsets, so I've probably spent at least 1,000 nights over the last 15 years or so surfing during the sunset. And I've seen all kinds of sunsets, from dusky pinks to neon orange to pale yellow to all kinds of vivid colors in the sky. But this sunset, I've never seen one like this before. Until one night that I was surfing with my friend, the sun was setting and it looked exactly like the picture on my vision board. And it was so unusual that my friend, he looks over at me and he says, "Dude, it looks really weird today. It's like really, really beautiful." And I told him, "I know, and I have this exact picture on my vision board." And he just looks at me and he says, okay. So I've known this friend for about 15 or 20 years, and we've surfed plenty of sunsets at the same time. For him to comment on the sunset is pretty unusual, but it was just such a beautiful, beautiful evening, and it looked exactly like the picture on my vision board, and just the similarity was uncanny, but it was really, really cool. And the third time that an image came to fruition for me wasn't necessarily like a positive experience, but I learned a lesson from that. So basically, I came across, I think it was a store ad, but it was like this bright day, and it's a girl in a bikini and she's in the water in the ocean, and then there's a guy playfully like maybe running after her, and she had a black bathing suit on and he had blue swim trunks, and it just looked like a fun picture. The water was clear, but for some reason I had this slightly uneasy feeling when I was looking at it initially, and then I must have tossed that aside because the picture was so cool. I was like, let me put that on my vision board. And then fast forward a little bit later, I was dating this guy that kind of negative experience, but I was at the beach one day with him, and then I was wearing a black bikini, and then he was in turquoise or blue swim trunks, and he was behind me, and I turned around, and at that moment I was like, oh my gosh, this is the picture on my vision board. And I thought it was interesting because it was not a great relationship, and then I had a slightly uneasy feeling, yet I put it on my vision board. And then later, my friend Sam, who knows a lot about like the law of attraction and vision boards and manifesting, he was telling me, he's like, next time that you make a vision board, he's like, if anything gives you a slightly uneasy feeling, pay attention to it and don't put it on your vision board. And in hindsight, yes, 2020, right? But this leads us into the tips for the vision boards, and I am going to start out by saying tip number 1, if any kind of picture, no matter how fun or beautiful it looks, if you get any inkling of a potentially negative feeling, don't put it on your vision board. Okay, and the next tip is to look at your vision board consistently, preferably every day or multiple times a day. Another tip is to put things on the vision board that you authentically want, not what other people tell you to want. Society, friends, family, no matter how well-intending, can influence what you want. Sometimes this is great for you, other times it isn't. Follow your own compass and put down what makes you happy. You can gauge this by how you feel about something. and then edit, edit, edit. So you don't want too much on there, because if you have too much on there, then each thing isn't quite as special. So you want a manageable amount. And then also add in some quotes. If there's any quotes that lift you up or inspire you or motivate you or you feel are authentic to you, add those in. And then there's no right or wrong way to make your vision board. So don't let anybody judge you for what's on your vision board, because this is for you and not for anybody else. You can also create multiple vision boards on different topics, like themed vision boards, like maybe one's for business and one is for personal. And then as you move forward, enjoy the journey to get to the destination. And then also pay attention to the signs that are sent your way as you pursue your goals. And then now in terms of law of attraction, like attracts like. So take good care of yourself. Exercise self-care and life balance if you can. If you feel like any goals are outside of your reach, focus on becoming the best version of you, and you'd be amazed at the things that can happen in your life. So you can create multiple forms of vision boards. The first is a vision/inspiration notebook. You can title it something like I Create My Life, or put a quote that's inspirational on the cover. You can also make a list. There's a book about this, which I've ordered and I'll share with you next week. You can also make a vision board on a board, which is the traditional way. And this is the method that I like the most, because you have to minimize the things that you put on there, because only so much will fit. And in fact, we were talking about goals and vision boards the other day at my office, and my friend Megan had a really good point, and she brought up this story about the importance of the process of elimination, and it was a story about Warren Buffett, and it's one of his best pieces of productivity advice. But basically, the story goes like this. Warren Buffett had a pilot, and he instructed the pilot to write down his top 25 career goals. So the pilot wrote them all down. And then Warren Buffett said, circle your top 5 goals that are like the most important and the most meaningful to you. So the pilot did that. And so the pilot says, these are my top 5 goals, and here's the 20 secondary goals. And Warren Buffett told him, no, the 5 goals are your most important goals. The other 20 are the things to avoid at all costs. And it's just really great productivity advice, because it keeps us focused and more likely to accomplish what we're setting out to do. So anyways, a great story to repeat to you here. And lastly, this is a place that you could feel safe to put your dreams and your goals and your values and have fun with it. If you're not sure where to start, here are some areas to focus on. Relationships, which could be family, friends, your significant other, and or your community, your career, your life purpose, your finances, your home, your health, which could be physical, mental, emotional, and or spiritual health, and lifestyle. How do you want to spend your time? So it might be worth making a vision board, and if you do, enjoy the journey. I hope that you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If so, I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit the like button, as it helps more people find my channel. If you'd like to see more content, please subscribe. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.